Thank you. Wow. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to tell you a little story today. You may remember, but just 1 month ago, the US Capitol building was evacuated. The details of the event are concerning, but here we are, 21 years after 9/11, and we, the tech community, have still failed to equip the FAA, local law enforcement, and Homeland Air Defense with the right tools to do their jobs. For those of you who maybe don't know the details of the story, let me walk you through it. It was April 20th, 2022, 6:30 p.m., again, just 1 month ago. A two-engine aircraft carrying the Army Golden Knights parachute team was circling overhead, preparing to drop them into Nationals Park for the pregame festivities of a Major League Baseball game. Mind you, this is a United States Army plane. It has just taken off from Joint Base Andrews. It's following a pre-approved flight plan, and it's just received clearance from National Airport to proceed. The Capitol Police, who work tirelessly day in and day out to keep the Capitol safe, look up and see an aircraft circling. Somewhere, someone made the call to evacuate the building. Why? The information was there, but it was siloed. Authorities couldn't contextualize fast enough to make the right decision. Now, some people had the right information. NORAD didn't scramble jets. But not everyone who needed the right tools had the right tools. We are Hypergiant. We build those tools. We take that siloed data and contextualize it so that the right decisions can be made at the speed of relevancy. Everyone here is already familiar with apps that do something like this. You have in your pocket what we call a common operating picture. Maps applications help you to get to where you need to go, synthesizing a ton of data, but delivering you only what you need, where you need it, and when you need it. Behind the scenes, there's a ton of data. There's AI. There's machine learning, sure, but you don't care about any of that. All you care about are the directions. Hypergiant builds similar applications for the US military and public sector. Now, this is a very hard problem, and it requires massive amounts of data to solve. It requires AI, sure, but AI is a means, it is not an end. The point is that you need to contextualize information fast enough to make decisions. Of course, the only place you can fully implement this is on the cloud, on AWS. Solutions to problems like this can only be solved if they leverage the massive compute, data collection, and cross-mission connectivity of AWS. Let me walk you through exactly how we're doing this for NORAD. Now, NORAD is responsible for monitoring the skies, keeping track of hostile activity. They're, of course, the ones who would shoot down that Army plane if they thought it was an actual threat. Historically, air defense operators are sitting behind 7 to 10 screens, looking at everything from publicly available data, weather data, military radar, FAA flight plans, public flight tracks, military flight tracks, and so forth. Ingesting, contextualizing, and synthesizing decisions in this environment is incredibly challenging. It can take over 20 minutes for an operator to fully understand the situation. But of course, they only have seconds to respond. Sometimes, we scramble jets to intercept flocks of birds. Why? Because in those precious few seconds, out of an abundance of caution, you cannot afford to miss anything. However, and as you are probably aware, we are seeing an alarming increase in airspace incursions by Russia. Now, scrambling jets to intercept birds out of abundance of caution may soon come at the expense of missing something else, something important. Again, this is not a data problem. We have the data. This is not an AI problem. We definitely have the algorithm that can tell the difference between a bird and a plane. This is a time to context and time to decision problem. That's where we come in. What we've done is to replace those 7 to 10 screens with one single screen. We've fused data and AI to present only the information that a given operator needs at the time they need it. We've also fused AI algorithms that present suggested courses of action, so operators are only one click away from making a decision, and they are fully aware of the risks and projected outcomes of that decision. We reduce time it takes to make decisions from 20 minutes to 20 seconds. We're equipping NORAD with the right tools. Remember, NORAD knew about the Golden Knights. Wouldn't it be great if everyone had those same tools? Again, this is only possible through the enablement of AWS. This is only possible if you have access to all your sensors, all your data, and the compute power to synthesize intelligent insights. By the way, AWS has figured out a way to extend cloud-based capabilities to the tactical edge, which allows us to operate even when our persistent connection is disrupted. Hypergiant is building common operating picture applications for the military and public sector customers. However, our customers need these applications to work everywhere they go, not just in areas of dense cellular coverage. They need these to work seamlessly and flawlessly at the edge. Take a look at that gray box. That is an AWS Snowball. That is a cloud-native, high compute, high storage, mailable, droppable box of awesome. We can do North American air defense on that. Snowball enables this 20-minute to 20-second decision process, even when access to the cloud is denied. Operators who are sitting right next to their most important sensors can still make informed decisions, even if they can't talk to the cloud. We are working with the US Army to demonstrate how a Snowball can be shipped to a battlefield on the other side of the world, bringing with it cloud-native common operating pictures for robotic combat vehicles, which will equip vehicle operators to make split-second decisions related to vehicle health and long-term supply chain decisions, even when network access to the cloud is degraded, contested, or completely denied. We have also commercialized it. The same technology that dramatically increases the effectiveness of North American air defense is actually available on AWS Commercial Cloud right now. Fundamentally, what we're doing is taking streams of siloed data, integrating them with AI, and fusing that into a coherent picture for you to make decisions. It doesn't matter what the data streams are: classified, unclassified, publicly available, or behind restricted walls. We simply integrate them into a coherent picture. That means that our common operating pictures are available for military and non-military, public and private teams alike. Last year, back home in Texas, we had a little issue with our power grid. You may have heard about it. Authorities had the data, the algorithms, the networks. They had all the screens, but something still went wrong. Why? The data was siloed, and we lacked the application that contextualized the data and the AI to make the right decisions. We're also building that application right now on AWS. Using the same technology we're delivering to NORAD, we are equipping independent systems operators responsible for managing our electric grids to make the right decisions at their speed of relevancy. We're also making it available on Snowball. Why? Because the tactical edge doesn't only exist on a battlefield on the other side of the world. Sometimes, when a hurricane strikes, when power goes out, the tactical edge comes to you. 20-minute decisions in 20 seconds. That's what we do. Now, I invite all of you to come join me at a breakout session later today where I'll be diving into this in more detail. But right now, I will leave you with this. I want you to close your eyes and imagine a world where we don't evacuate the Capitol because of Military Appreciation Day at Nationals Park. Imagine a world where we don't scramble fighters to intercept geese, but we still never miss a Russian incursion. Imagine a world where your 20-minute decisions can be made in 20 seconds. Now open your eyes. You don't have to imagine. Hypergiant and AWS are delivering that world today. Thank you.